boys and girls, we are going to start our new unit in Letterland. First, we're going to build a word. First, let's finger tap this word. Look at this word. Do you remember what these two vowelmen say together? Mr. O and Mr. A, when they're walking, remember who does the talking and who is watching out for robots. So let's finger tap this word, boys and girls. We have f, o, t, f, o, t, float. Can you think of someone in Letterland who might like to float in water? The one I am thinking about is Walter Walrus. Walruses have a built-in bubble to help them float. Walruses even float when they sleep with their body straight up and down underwater and their noses sticking out of the water. Let's all say Walter Walrus floats when he sleeps. Now, we have to change this word float because we said floats. Remember, when we add something on the end of a word, we call it a suffix. So, what do we need to add to this word to make it say floats? We need to add an S to our word to make it float. We know another suffix. Who can say a sentence about Walter Walrus with this word floating? Now let's say Walter Walrus has stopped sleeping and floating. He swims to the shore and crawls out on the beach and says, "I floated for a long time." Let's see how we can turn our word into floated. Now practice reading this word. When you say it quickly, the ending can sound more like id than ed. So practice saying again, float, id, floated. Now let's separate our word from our suffix. Float is our base word. So what does this other part say? Ed. And ed tell us that someone has already done something. Walter already floated and now he has stopped. We can see from the sparks that this is another magic ending. But it has no effect on vowelmen out walking. Let's try adding our suffix to another word. Let's read our new word. Played. This one has a little bit of a different sound. When we add ed to this one, it has a little bit of a different sound. Sometimes Eddie Elephant plays a disappearing game and his sound disappears. All we hear is Dippy Duck's d sound. So we played. We played in the water. Say it with me. We played in the water. So our word here is played. Let's practice making some more words. So practice with our new word. Remember that when you have the two vowels out walking, Mr. E is doing the talking because he's coming first, and Mr. A is too busy watching out for robots. So we have clean, clean. Now we want this to say that we have already cleaned, cleaned. What ending do we need? Do we need ed or d? Cleaned. We need our ending where you only hear the d because Eddie Elephant has played the disappearing game. Let's try another word. Now let's practice this word. We know that we have two vowels out walking. Mr. A comes first, so he is doing the talking. Mr. I comes next. He stays quiet because he's too busy looking for robots. So let's finger tap our word. Wait. We want this word to say that we have already waited. Waited. Now, remember that when you say it quickly, even though it's ed, it might sound like id. So which word ending says id or ed? Now put the word together because we've added our suffix. Waited, waited.